Alright everyone, yesterday the IG report came out and it's several hundred pages long, so I was going to make a video yesterday, but I'm like, well, ultimately I speculated what ended up happening, which is that Republicans, Trump's backers, are going to say, well, this is evidence Comey lied, Obama lied, Clinton's crooked, the FBI is biased, and people who don't like him would say, oh, Trump is lying, there's nothing here except that Trump lied because Comey's been exonerated. And that's exactly what's happened. Depending on who you ask, look, these two things can't possibly both be true. I look at it and while I think the Trump side is more right, there are a few things that the Democrats are saying that are correct. For instance, I don't have any reason to believe that Horowitz watered anything down with regards to saying, well, James Comey wasn't politically motivated. He did water it down, though, in one way. The original draft report that was kicking around for a week said Comey was insubordinate. This indicates the same thing, insubordinates, without actually using that term. I wonder who pressured him to do so. Jeff Sessions. Oh, Rosenstein. Yeah, somebody did that, obviously. James Comey was insubordinate. When you say you're conducting a high-level investigation into a presidential nominee, and you deviate from the rules of your own office and ignore the normal functions of the FBI, that is being insubordinate. You can't pick and choose when to follow the rules. You can't pick and choose when to follow the procedures of your fucking position. You do that in the private marketplace, you get fired right away. I guess if you're James Comey, it takes a while. No, that's the problem. Why do you think Comey and McCabe and all these others are out there anyway? It's because of bullshit. But here's the thing. I'm willing to accept the fact that Comey wasn't politically motivated. I honestly, that makes sense because at different times Comey said things that either ingratiated himself to or distanced himself from both sides of the political spectrum. He goes after Clinton, the Dems hate him, the Republicans hold him up on a pedestal, say he's their guy. Then he says, well, we haven't found evidence of this or that. The Republicans start disliking him. The Democrats are like, oh, see, it's a nothing burger. James Comey is our guy. This happened 4 fucking different times. I think it's a little bit of sour grapes from Republicans who cheered Horowitz on to say that he's doing something wrong with the IG report. That being said, though, Comey was insubordinate. The language should not have been altered from the draft report. Number 2, what about Loretta Lynch? I was promised details on her and I'm not seeing any, but we did get something else. Now, the most important part of the whole report, final link in the description, there's also the full reports link, justice.gov is in the description, but there's also a third link there, archived, of course. Foreign actors accessed the Clinton emails. This directly countermands what we were told. And if you look at page 89 of the report, I mean the actual page, if you look at the PDF file on their site, the pages don't sync up. Like page 89 on the file is not page 89 of the report for some reason. Trust me, it's Greek to me. It's bureaucracy at work. They fucked up somehow. Trust me, there's something terribly wrong there. Here's the thing. It looks like Lisa Page and Strzok there, her lover or whatever, these two mid-level FBI agents, were definitely politically motivated. Any illusion that they weren't engaged in funny business is now completely shot to hell. They were openly referencing stopping Trump multiple times. They're like, oh, is Trump going to win? No, we will stop him. We will destroy his presidencies. That's kind of self-explanatory. They need to haul those two in for additional questioning. Congress needs to talk to them more extensively and find out what the fuck they're referring to. Now, it's possible that's just pre-election banner. Basically, well, don't worry, the people won't vote for him, essentially. He's, Hillary will win because of polling or something. That's possible. But it sounds more sinister than that. Which will be the case? Who knows? But Comey was insubordinate. Stop saying Trump is lying. It's trending right now on Twitter as we speak. Trump is a liar, basically. No, he was absolutely right. Comey didn't do his job. It doesn't matter whether he was politically motivated. Trump was absolutely right about that part of his claim. And why wouldn't he assume that it was politically motivated? At the time, definitely looked it. And there's still a chance that it was, and Horowitz is covering for him. I'm just going to assume, though, that Horowitz watered down the language of the report that fundamentally concludes Comey did a shitty job. On an extremely important investigation regarding national security and a presidential candidate, he screwed the pooch. And the IG report further says, extensively, his actions and the actions of other agents regarding this investigation caused a pall to hang over the FBI. Public trust in the FBI was shaken. That's funny. The legacy media kept saying it was only Trump that was doing that. Oh, he's questioning the FBI. Therefore, he's attacking the FBI. Well, no, the public's trust in the FBI declined because Comey looked politically motivated. And then you have this separate report about these other agents working on the case who are politically motivated. They're working on a case involving Clinton, and yet they're constantly doing political small talking about how much they hate Trump. Yes, that's a political motivation. It doesn't matter if Comey was involved. What, like lower level agents can't fuck up material or not do their job selectively in order to push some political motivation they have? Look, the biggest danger of the intel agencies is ultimately political motivation or something along those lines. You have an agency that's capable of hacking any computer in the world and covering up its fingerprints, and having done so, the CIA has this tech. Although it escaped into the public realm, unfortunately. The FBI and NSA do. These firms can blackmail a politician. They can easily do. They can derail a politician that they don't like by making them look guilty of crimes they didn't actually commit through cyberspace. They are capable of doing this. So far as we know, it hasn't happened. I can guarantee in some point it will. Probably already happens within the private sector. Somebody well-connected gets, oh, do a one-off for me, Joe FBI agent. Here's 50 grand. Insert some incriminating evidence. I'm going to claim that I smelled pot on his breath. I think he's growing pot in his basement. Oh, here's a picture of his basement with a pot plant in it. Yeah, it's photoshopped, but it'll pass as real. It could happen. Now it looks like they're even going to be able to do that with video. Like they can just map out somebody's face and they can make literally a semblance of them that's passable. They're basically a half generation away from accomplishing that. No, you think the CIA and FBI don't have stuff that's more advanced than the stuff that you've seen publicly available? Like holograms and shit they're actually developing, and which I said would be developed within the next decade, like last year. Yeah, they're here. The first generation of those exists now too. And also, there was another little detail. Obama, under a pseudonym of course, did communicate with Clinton's private server. He had to have known this wasn't the official address for Clinton now, was it? No, it was a private server. Well, Obama claimed he didn't know. No, I never communicated with her. Never happened. So Obama lied. He flat out lied. Absolutely. Trump, you can say maybe he lied or maybe he was just wrong in one of his political fixations. With Obama, it is directly countermanded in the IG report what he said. And as for the concept that the FBI doesn't have any bias at any level, well, the Lisa Page text, blow that one out of the water. It's obvious that FBI agents are capable of being politically biased. Now, the hope is they'd still do their job. The hope is that they simply, something went wrong and they just decided not to charge Hillary Clinton because they really honestly believed there was no capability to prosecute her. But that's not the FBI's job. The FBI's job is to recommend she be charged based on the fact that she broke the law, which Comey came out and said she did. Now Horowitz is saying, yeah, in this and in a million other things, he deviated from the norms of the FBI. He deviated from the normal protocols of his bureau. What's that called? Insubordinate. That's what it's called. He didn't follow the rules. He deserved to be fired, and the firing wasn't ultimately politically motivated, I guess. Now, was it? There was a legitimate reason to let him go. McCabe, too. By the way, poor McCabe, he doesn't get his full pension. He gets a partial pension, I think, for a while, and that's all. After years of serving my country, and ignoring rules and being an asshole, I don't even get to continue living high off the hog on the taxpayer dole. It's so terrible. It's a miscarriage of justice by evil, tyrannical, orange orangutan Hitler. Oh my God, says McCabe. It's like really funny. So this is an interesting report. But again, it's fundamentally boiled down to so much political partisan hackery at this point that everyone either assumes that it's the deep state's covering for the deep state, or they say Trump is Hitler. Trump is just a madman. Okay, these are two irreconcilable looks at the same IG report, number one. It's predetermined what like 70% of the population is going to make of them anyway. It's almost not worth making a video on the subject. If you say that anything Horowitz said is actually true, you're going to get a Democrat or a Republican jumping down your throat anyway. So it's like, I can look through it and I can read it accurately, but nobody's going to fully agree with what I have to say, I guess. That's about all. Peace out.